We offer an amendment to this bill to help people and protect people, an amendment which calls for an annual financial autopsy by the Consumer Financial Protection Agency. Our amendment works as follows. If a financial product or service is causing a lot of people to go broke or to lose their homes, the agency will restrict or eliminate it. That's it. If your product demonstrably destroys people's lives, then this agency will step in and end that. Specifically, this amendment will compel the agency to do an annual, scientifically valid study in every state and territory to find out which products are causing people to go broke or become homeless. Based on the study of foreclosures and bankruptcies, the agency will lay out the root causes of these financial family catastrophes, make recommendations, and take corrective action under the authority of this Act. It's important to note that had this agency and this amendment been in existence and implemented years ago, at least part of the financial crisis would have been averted. This crisis happened, after all, because our government forgot about the well-being of ordinary people in favor of unfettered greed. Here's just one example of a regulator ignoring the warning signs, ignoring people and their lives years before the collapse because there was no specific statutory mandate to do what is described here. On July 27, 2000, the Federal Reserve held a hearing in North Carolina on home equity lending. There had been a rise in the local foreclosure rate, as well as anecdotes of problems in the subprime lending market. But there was no study done to determine exactly what was the cause of that foreclosure rate increasing. The Federal Reserve did not take any corrective action or even study why people were going broke or losing their homes. What did it do? I'll quote from a writer at The Atlantic magazine who looked at this episode. Quote, "The Federal Reserve called up all the local subprime lenders and some community organizers who brought this problem to the public and asked the subprime lenders if they were doing anything wrong. You might be shocked to learn that after some deep reflection, the subprime lenders found that they were not, and that was the end of the matter." Mr. Chairman, right now, a quarter of the nation's homeowners owe more than they own in their home equity. Had we acted in the year 2000 when this North Carolina foreclosure problem first came to light, had we given the agent the tools and the statutory mandate that I propose to give them now, then this would not be the case. We could have isolated and solved this problem before it turned into a national catastrophe. It's also important to highlight that this amendment allows and in fact encourages financial innovation. It doesn't prospectively restrict anything. This amendment uses a very simple standard to determine how to regulate. If a financial product or practice is causing a lot of people to go broke or lose their homes, then that's a problem. If your innovation is one that destroys the lives of so many people, then it needs to be restricted or it needs to be stopped. The Center for Disease Control has a response team for when it finds cancer clusters. This is because cancer clusters are devastating to people and the communities they strike. The idea behind that program is that if they can put detectives in the field to assess the root causes of those cancer clusters, they can prevent future problems. Why shouldn't the same principle apply to foreclosures and bankruptcies, which are devastating to people and whole communities? That's why this is exactly what our amendment does, and I encourage the committee to support it. I yield to any of my co-sponsors if they'd like to speak on my time.
Mr. Chairman. Well, members, you have the